feeling the pinch with your finances, Pattie Lovett-Reid is here to help us manage things during these inflationary times. Hey, Pattie.
Did you see how people got excited about inflation?
I know.
Yeah, we're gonna talk money.
We're gonna talk, honestly, Pattie, I've told you before, I'll tell you again, you are my go-to for information about what's actually happening because you're so great at actually breaking down in terms I can understand.
Thank you. Could we say that after our segment?
Yes.
Okay.
I mean, well,
Let's start.
counting on you with this one because inflation, we hear it everywhere, but what is it really? Like, what is it?
So what does it really mean?
Yeah.
You know, the Bank of Canada has a basket of goods that they always look at the price of month over month, year over year. The Bank of Canada would like to see increases for this basket of goods, 2%.
Okay.
It's roughly just shy of 4% right now. So it's coming down, but it's not where the Bank of Canada would like it to be. We've watched rates go higher. And why do things cost more? It's supply and demand. I want this, but there's not a lot of it. So therefore, prices go higher. And it's tough. It's tough for a lot of households. And, you know, I can tell you, just for example, coming across the wire from Canada Helps, that's 86,000 charities. What they found is that 2 out of 10 that they surveyed are now going to a charity for essential services because things cost so much, whether it's accommodation, it's food, it's clothing, and out of those 2 out of 10, 69% for the first time in the past year.
Wow.
So you know that inflation is really causing a lot of households to struggle, but also higher interest rates. It's like a 1-2 punch.
It really is. It feels kind of like it's coming at us from all angles.
Because it is.
Yeah.
It still is.
It's a really scary time, but you have some tips on how we can manage our money during this time.
Okay.
Yes, right?
Okay,
Yeah.
go ahead.
So firstly, you say if you own a home, extend your amortization period and take longer to pay it off.
So I would say consider extending.
Got it.
Considering. And the reason for that is that, you know, when you extend an amortization, this means that it's going to take you longer to pay it off. You'll have smaller payments today, but you will wind up spending a lot more on interest. And I'll give you an example. If you have a $300,000 mortgage and you extend your amortization by just 5 years, you may get $140 each month back in your pocket, but over the life of your mortgage, you're paying $100,000 more in interest. But there are some households that want to hang on, and they may do it temporarily. But before you do, I would say I would explore consolidating my debt in a household, because you may have high credit card debt, but then you can consolidate, take the interest costs down, and that means you could apply that to your mortgage. You could lock in, you could talk to your banker, your financial institution, broker, to say, how can I maybe get a different type of mortgage with a different rate? And then again, you can look to extend that amortization. You know, there was a period of time no one did it over 30 years. I can tell you, a lot more people are doing it over 30 years right now.
Definitely. Now, you also have a tip to hold off on buying those big ticket items.
A common sense, you know, during COVID, when rates went very, very low, people would tell me all the time, I don't really need this, but I'm actually going to buy it because rates are so low. They weren't necessarily in a position to afford it. So when I talk big ticket items, they're often called durable goods. These are things that last longer than a 3-year period, which often cost a lot more. If you don't need it, don't buy it.
No, I believe in that 100%. I don't, even just the clutter and having things around, but that's
less
just
is more.
Less is more.
Right now, less is more. You're
Definitely.
right.
Now, you also say don't leave money on the table. What does that mean? It sounds like poker. Yeah.
I do play poker.
Oh,
by the way.
shoot. I would never play with me.
Can I quickly tell you, Friday nights in our household, my parents would make us read Shakespeare around the table and then play poker.
No.
What does that tell you about our
That's a
household?
well-rounded family.
That is a crazy family.
No.
But anyway, so here's what I'm talking about. Let's say you didn't get a raise from your employer and you're frustrated by it and you feel like you're worth more. I actually did this myself because I was not happy with the lack of raise that I got. And I looked at my compensation package and I left a lot of money on the table. So, for example, my husband and I both worked in corporations and we were both paying for medical care and dental care. And there were things that I could actually, you know, expense around physiotherapy. There were a whole bunch of things. And I left about $2,500 in unused benefits and by consolidating.
Yeah.
And so in essence, I gave myself a raise. So I encourage everyone, anyone, it's not a lot of fun, it's not exciting, but go line by line through your benefits package and see what you might have that you don't know you have.
That's a great tip, because just knowing what you have.
Yeah.
Now, when it comes to debt, you want us to pay off the most expensive debt first.
Yes. Well, typically I do.
Yes.
And I say that because the most expensive debt isn't the biggest debt that you have.
No.
It's typically the one that's costing you the most in terms of interest rate. That works for a lot of people. Doesn't work for everyone. There's something called the snowball effect. And let's say you have 5 pieces of outstanding debt. You pay off the smallest one first because psychologically you go, oh, I have, let me do it this way, 4,
Yeah.
3, 2, 1, and you get where I'm coming from.
Yeah.
That may work for some. The others, it may say, I'm going to get rid of the expensive one, and any money that I save, I reapply to the next debt that's costing me the most. But either way, all I care is make the minimum where you can.
Yes.
And then tackle strategically what makes the best financial sense for your household and your emotional mindset through this process.
That's one thing. Money it's so emotional, and
It is so emotional.
and it's hard
It'll
to
never love you back, though.
No, it won't, and it's hard to remove that, though.
It is. Money is very
Yeah.
Every single financial decision you make, even buying a pair of shoes, is emotional.
100%.
Yeah, 100%.
Well, Pattie, great advice. Thank you
you.
so much, as usual. What a delight. Hey, Mary here. What did you think? Drop your comments below, and don't forget to like and subscribe for more of the good stuff.